Through the looking glass. Today I wanted to share with you a technique inspired by a chapter in the Law and the Promise called Through the Looking Glass, where we start to use the eye of imagination rather than the eye of the brain. So we are starting to look at reality through the eye of imagination, and we are going to pierce the layer of reality that we have become so accustomed to looking at, so that we can expand our reality and experience more of what is available to us. So that's what we're doing today. Stick around. My name is Hedley Derenzie, and if you would like further support with telling yourself better stories and implementing some of these techniques, I'm available for one-to-one law of assumption coaching that will help you to tell the stories that you need to be telling in order to experience the reality that you want to experience, because it is all about the stories that we tell. I also have a free 21-day Set Yourself Up with the Ultimate Self-Concept course, which is the ultimate story that you want to be telling. You'll find all those details in the box below this video or at my website, youaretheone.com.au. But for now, let's get into it. Okay, today and all this week, we are doing techniques. I am sharing with you some of the techniques that I use on a day-to-day basis. And today's technique is inspired from a chapter in the complete reader of Neville's book, The Law and the Promise, the chapter being chapter 8, Through the Looking Glass. And I read this chapter and I realized that I had actually been doing this for so much of my life without actually being aware of what I was doing. And you might find that you've had this experience too. And that's why I love these teachings, because they give language to what we're already doing a lot of the time. Because intuitively we know this stuff, but we may not have a language for it. And Law of Assumption just gives you that language. So today's technique is about using the eye of imagination to see clearly. We think we're seeing clearly. We think we're looking at reality and we're seeing what is. But really what we want to be doing is using our vision to see things as they ought to be. So where I started doing this was when my father passed away back when I was 30. So that was, I'm 44, so that was like 14 years ago. It really shouldn't take me that long to do that, those numbers. But anyway, prior to my dad passing, one of the things that we used to do a lot of, which I loved, was we would sit on his balcony and we would sip tea together and we would chat about whatever it is that we would chat about. We'd have wonderful chats and we'd sit there drinking hot tea on his balcony. And that was one of the things that I really missed when he passed. So one of the things that I started doing was sitting on the balcony with a chair, and I would imagine my dad in the chair and I would have a cup of tea and I would just imagine him being there. And it became so real that it just became something that was quite normal, that my dad was there. I could see him and I could see him with his tea. I could see the smile on his face. It was actually very much like as if he was there, and he was there. But I had to use a different faculty of my imagination in order for that to happen. And so one of the things that I do these days is whenever I want to have a chat to Dad, I mean, I don't just do it on the balcony. Now I just call him in wherever and I just see him there and I'll just have a chat to him. And it's actually very real for me because I can see him very clearly and I can also hear him. I can see his face. So it's a really wonderful thing to be able to do, which is to use your imagination to see what is not there that you would like to be there. And that's essentially what this technique is going to help you to do. As I said, you've probably been doing this anyway in some way, but this is a really powerful technique to start practicing using the eye of your imagination more often. Through the looking glass. What is the looking glass? Well, the looking glass is essentially reality. It's the mechanical structure of the senses that we observe in our day-to-day lives. So we're going about our lives and we're looking out into reality and we're seeing what is. Now, reality is a reflection. So we're actually having reality reflect back at us. So we're not actually piercing the looking glass because we're allowing reality to reflect back to us, and we're assuming that things are the way they are, not realizing that we're actually the ones causing what is there in the first place, because it comes from consciousness. Consciousness is the one and only reality. Reality as we know it is the reflection of consciousness. Another way I like to say it is consciousness is real, reality is the reflection of what's real, which is consciousness. So we are seeing the outpicturing of consciousness, but we're seeing it from the perspective of the five senses, which is limited. So we're seeing what we're seeing and thinking that's all there is to see, and then we're allowing what we're seeing to inform our brain. We're using imagination conservatively because we're not creating anything. We're allowing reality to inform imagination because we're letting the images of reality inform imagination. Therefore, that's how we get the same thing over and over and over playing out, you know, tomorrow and the next day. So what we're doing is you are using perceptual awareness. So you are seeing what is there. You are seeing things as they are. And this is the vision that we use most of the time as we move through our day. But what we want to do is move from perceptual awareness to conceptual awareness, shifting from the eye of the brain, meaning we're seeing and we're processing the information that we're seeing. We are going to be using the eye of imagination, where we are placing something that is there that is not there. So similarly to the last technique that I gave you, you can do this with your eyes open, and I would suggest doing this with your eyes open because I want you to become proficient with looking out at reality using your imagination. So first things first, think of something that you want to manifest that is not yet in your reality. So just put that to the side for a second. And then bringing yourself into a nice relaxed state, I want you to look around and become aware of your current environment as it is. So just have a look around at the forms that are there, but then also look at the spaces. So look at where there is space between the items. Just become aware of everything. So now that you are aware of your environment, I want you to see a space and to place a vase of flowers in that space. And take as long as you need to do this. So you're still working with your current reality, but you are placing a vase of flowers in a particular spot in your current reality using your imagination. So if it's the desk, I want you to look at the space and fill it with a vase and some flowers. And I want you to become aware of the vase. I want you to see what vase it is, see the style of it, and then the flowers, what colors are they, what style of flowers. Like really take your time to see the vase of flowers in the empty space, somewhere in your current environment. So take as much time as you need to do that. It helps to look at the space. This is why you want to keep your eyes open, because you're looking at the space and you're filling it with something that is not there, which is a vase and flowers. And then let's activate some of your senses. So without moving, I want you to look at the vase of flowers and pick the vase up and feel the weight of the vase in your hands. Keep in mind you're not moving, you are just using your awareness. So picking the vase up and feel the weight of the vase. There's probably water in there, so there'll be a bit of weight to that vase. And now bring the vase to your nose, and I want you to inhale the scent of the flowers. Remember, you're doing all of this in imagination with your eyes open, remaining in your current reality. Take as long as you need, and you can stop the video if you need to stop the video just to make sure that you've really got this. Okay, once you've got that, put the vase back down on the table, and now you can close your eyes once if you want to do it. If you're driving, just blink. And I want you to go back to your current reality where the vase is not there. So now look at the empty space, and the vase is gone. It's no longer there. It's empty space. So now you're aware of the empty space. Okay, now you've got that. Now you can close your eyes or blink, or you can just leave your eyes open and just shift into the awareness of the vase with the flowers is back there. I want you to see the vase again, but this time the vase is different. It's a new vase and it's a different type of flower. So I want you to see the vase has now changed, and it's a different color flower, it's a different style of flower, it's a different arrangement. I want you to just become aware of the difference in the vase and the flowers. Okay, becoming aware of that in the space of your current reality. Excellent. Okay. That is using the eye of your imagination. So rather than seeing things as they are, you're seeing things as you would like them to be. Now that's a generalized exercise. Now we're going to do something more personalized. So thinking of the thing that you are working on, that you are manifesting into your reality that is not currently in reality. We're going to use this technique to create evidence in your current reality of that thing manifested. So what you're going to do is looking at the empty space where the vase once was. It's no longer there anymore. It's now the empty space again. But in that empty space, you are going to put evidence of your manifestation. So for example, if it's a new car, you might have the car keys in the space. in your current reality. If you've won a house, it might be the keys to the house. If you have got a job promotion, it might be the contract might be there on the desk beside you or somewhere in your current reality. But think of something that would provide evidence to show you that yes, your manifestation is in your reality now. And then using your eye of imagination, I want you to place the evidence of that manifestation into your current reality. Take as long as you need. So look at the space and then place the evidence of your manifestation into that place. And you are now looking at the evidence in your current reality using the eye of imagination. And I want you to become aware of this evidence and look at it in your current reality. So you have now pierced the reflective glass of reality and you are now looking at things as they ought to be. Remember, reality must respond to what you're doing in imagination. And you are now using imagination to cause reality. There is a delay. So reality hasn't yet caught up, but it doesn't matter because you are seeing your manifestation, or at least evidence of an item that provides evidence in your current environment using the eye of imagination. The eye of imagination sees things as they ought to be. That is what pierces through the looking glass. You are no longer seeing things as they are. You are using your imagination creatively. You are using it correctly because you are creating a new reality. And you are still in your current reality. It's a super powerful technique. I use it regularly. Challenge yourself to use the eye of imagination as you move through your day. Become aware of your current surroundings and then think to yourself, what would I like to be here that's not here? And then find the empty space and put it there. It could be a person sitting in the chair opposite you. Use your eye of imagination to see them there. Smile at them. Say hi. See them smiling back. It is so fun. I love this. I love this technique. Use it throughout the day, have fun with it, play with it, and remember that what you are doing in imagination is causing reality. So you are actually piercing through the looking glass of reality. You are going beyond the mechanical structure of reality. You are seeing beyond, and you are causing reality by seeing what is not there. You are placing there with the eye of imagination, and reality must respond to this, because that's how this works. So I hope that helps. Have fun with it. Report your success stories back, and I'll be back shortly with another technique. As always, please remember, you are the amazing creators of your reality. You are the superstar of your show. You are the producer, the writer, the director, and the actor in your movie. What you assume to be true will be so. So assume the best for you and assume the best for everyone in your movie too, and you will have an amazing life. And this is my wish, my vision, and my prayer for you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for doing this work. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd love to have you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.